Digital Ferries, a radio play. Episode 1, Strategic Icebreaking. Imagine the gentle hum of a modern office space. In the background, the faint, familiar ping of a message arriving. Closer, the comforting gurgle of a coffee machine suggests we've stepped into the company kitchen. Here we'll meet Anna, John, and Michael. Our attention first falls on Anna, who is leaning against a counter, a thoughtful expression on her face.
Right then, sprint planning meeting done and dusted. 3 hours discussing how we can agilify agility next quarter.
Yes, but we did manage to structure those user stories rather well, according to the new model, didn't we? As a user, I want to feel more synergetic. That's important.
Important? Quite. You know, John, all this constant fine-tuning of processes, learning new tools, meetings about meetings. It rather reminds me of those old job creation schemes from the 70s.
Job creation schemes? You've taken a bit of a leap there, Anna.
Not necessarily. I read somewhere that they used to keep everyone employed, whether they were doing anything useful or not. Ferrymen, for example. In winter, when the river froze solid, they obviously couldn't transport anyone, but they were kept on, paid a salary. Their task might be invented for them, swabbing the ferry decks in the biting frost or tidying the edges of the ice. The main thing was that they were employed. The statistics looked good.
But we're software developers. We build digital products, real, tangible things.
So we do. But how much of this building is actually ferrying people across the river, delivering value to the end customer? And how much is just swabbing the decks in winter? Are we keeping ourselves and each other busy with processes, optimization, and synergy because the actual river is frozen over? And no one actually needs the ferry right now because you can walk across the ice or fly a drone over.
Well, it does feel a bit like that sometimes, that we do a lot, but what does the user or the business really get out of it? But isn't that agile development? We build and try things out, and then we validate?
Of course. But what if the validation phase gets skipped or the feedback gets lost in the minutes of the next sprint planning meeting? And what if the trying things out is just figuring out where on the ferry would be a good spot for swabbing point B, even though the whole ferry is stuck fast in the ice?
Door swings open quickly. Michael appears.
So sorry to interrupt. Team, urgent, utterly vital. Just finished the board's morning strategic pulse yoga session. Crack of dawn, start 4 a.m. You know how it is. Leadership demands vertical alignment of body and mind.
Sounds energizing, Michael. Did you get your chakras aligned?
Focus. We have a new strategic priority straight from the top, from the vertical alignment. Our leadership team was at a conference, a global conference, and they heard about artificial intelligence. Apparently, it can bring unforeseeable exponential benefits.
Artificial intelligence? In our product?
Precisely. The exact benefit is still unforeseeable, but according to strategy, we must allocate resources to ideate this unforeseeability. Unfortunately, the leadership team can't join your ideation sessions themselves. They have that critical facilitation of the 6-year strategic focus point underway and that mandatory morning resilience hypnosis. But they trust your proactive innovation capabilities.
So we're supposed to spend work time thinking up some unforeseeable benefit that no one knows what it is, and the management who asked for it can't even attend.
It's about future-proofing, Anna. Proactive disruption, and hey, don't forget those NPS scores. Look, Q1 was up. Everyone celebrated. Then Q2, down. A clear drop, even though nothing new has been released for months. This uncontrollable volatility in the NPS curve must be explained. We need to find the culprit. Who was the last one to look at that NPS dashboard? Who touched it?
I just opened it yesterday morning, checked if the data was showing.
Aha! You opened it. The dashboard was opened. That could affect it. Was it a strategically aligned opening? Perhaps you looked at it with the wrong intensity? You know, I've been thinking myself, there are nearly 700 of us in this division. Is it even possible for such a large machine to run itself? That the work itself is precisely about keeping this mass of 700 people busy rather than producing anything outwards? Some theorists pondered this once. It would be rather efficient for its own purpose, wouldn't it? We should investigate this. Internal employment coefficient.
Michael, the theory exists. It describes that ferryman swabbing the deck in winter, and now we're looking for someone to blame because the ice is slippery.
Let's not get too deep, Anna. No time. We have an NPS crisis and the ideation of unforeseeable AI benefits. I have my mandatory mindfulness walk on the Sea Wing rooftop terrace soon. Hold a meeting about this. Within hours, I need concrete bullet points on those unforeseeable ideas and the name of the potential driver for this negative NPS trend. Do it agilely.
Concrete bullet points about the unforeseeable? And someone to blame for opening a dashboard?
The ice is indeed getting thicker, and the swabbing continues.